And you get to ask these questions early on. What do you do for a living? Oh, wow. Do you enjoy your career? How long have you been there? What company? How long have you been with your company? Right? You don't ever have to ask a man how much money he makes, because that can seem tactless. That can seem uncouth. You don't want to do that. But you can go home and you can Google it later, or you can Google it in the car. How much money does an aerospace engineer who works for NASA make? And you'll get a range. So you can gauge financially in that way. But you want to know his financial intelligence, his level of financial responsibility, the level of financial contribution that he makes to his own life and own well-being on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. So that you don't ever find yourself in a space or situation where you have become the financial provider. Okay, that makes sense, y'all. Thank you guys for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for getting us to 7,000 hearts on TikTok. Any questions around this? Right? And this is important because there are 3 things that a woman needs to feel secure in her relationship with a man. And she needs to feel safe, she needs to feel soft, and she needs to feel seen. There is no safety, softness, or feeling seen if you're paying for everything. If you're paying for everything, you are going to feel unsafe because you're going to feel like you are responsible for you and your partner's safety. You are not going to feel seen because you're going to be the one paying the bills, and you're going to feel like he's not considering you. And you're absolutely not going to feel soft because you're going to be in this hyper masculine energy, taking care of all of these responsibilities for yourself and as a grown man. So everything will be thrown off. And if you find that you're in this space, you have to have the conversation to let your partner know you don't like it and you want it to change. And that can be really simple. It can be as simple as saying, hey, I don't want to pay all the bills anymore. Hey, I need some help with the bills, and then being clear. When I'm working with clients and you're in relationship and you're working on your relationship, there are 3 aspects of that. There is the communication aspect, the clarity aspect, and the connection aspect. You must communicate your needs and your wants to your partner. Otherwise, you can't blame him for his behavior. You can't blame him for what's not happening. You have to communicate it. The second part is that you have to clarify it. Once you communicate what your needs and your wants are, you want to give suggestions as to how he can meet your needs and your wants, because your needs and your wants are your responsibility. And then there's a connection aspect so that you come back together as a couple. So if there's a discussion, if there's a discourse, even if there's an argument, because that is communication as well, doesn't mean it's effective or it's healthy. But when it's communication, you want to come back around and clarify, here's what I meant by that. Here's how you can help me with this. This is what I would like for you to do specifically. And then you come back and you connect, because we're here together. So when it comes to finances, you want to communicate that if you feel like you're being financially abused or financially taken advantage of, or you just don't want to be as financially responsible for everything as you have been. You communicate that first. You say, I no longer feel comfortable carrying so much of the financial load in our relationship. Then you clarify that and you say, I would like for you to contribute $1,200 a month to the upkeep of the home. And then you have that conversation, and then afterwards you come back and you connect. Most people don't get to the connection phase, because once you communicate your needs and wants and you clarify that, what you'll find is that your partnership already has a breakdown. It started with a breakdown. Like when you hear people say, I don't want to get married because relationships always end after marriage. A lot of relationships end after marriage because when people get married, they are not pretending to be someone else anymore. Now I'm seeing you for who you really are. And we're both saying, listen, I don't like this thing. And it's like, oh shit, who did I marry? I don't want to be here. This is who you are, even though, this is who I've always been. But we ignore it to get to the place of feeling affirmed, of feeling externally validated, of feeling chosen, of feeling valuable, of feeling worthy momentarily, even though you're not actually being valued.